If you can hear me, give me a 1 in the chat room. If you can hear me sans buffering, type a 2. Might as well get that shit out of the way to see if this is going to work. Let's see here. Dan Morgan is here. What's up, Dan? You're in the chat room. I'm really starting to believe that my real issue today, streaming, could be my internet service provider this time around. I think that might actually be the problem, because I haven't really had this bad of a connection in a very long time. Okay. So, all right. Let me start the political stuff first, and then I'll move on. As I was saying before, greetings YouTube. This is the Garage Autonomist. Well, we see that we had 2 armed attacks this weekend, and while the jury is out if today's shooting, which was around 1 a.m. earlier today, that left 9 people dead in Dayton, was indeed carried out by another white nationalist, I'm going to go out on a limb, and rub my crystal ball and throw the fucking chicken bones and the cowrie shells and say that the shooter was indeed a white nationalist. Now, I know that his social media, his Twitter account, indicated that he was a quote unquote leftist. I know that he sent out a bunch of trolly tweets to some Republican, elected officials, but that means absolutely nothing. Understand that white supremacists and the alt-right in general have always been in rebellion, if you will, with the Republican Party. Okay, they basically use the Republican Party as a political platform to get out a populist message to increase their ranks and to put in, of course, a president that they would have supported in order to that helped to embolden those who would stand to be traditional right and things of that nature, and to hopefully bring them in over more to what they're about, which is the radical or radical left. I'm sorry, radical right. Sorry, I had that wrong. But I feel that see here. But I think that what the guy was really doing more than anything else was just a form of a troll. He wants to create this thing that if he knew that he was going to create this act of violence, that it was best for him to do so by trying to throw off the scent, if you will, of what he really was. But fuck that. Because if you look at his victims, a great deal of them were people of color. There were white people, of course, who were also killed. He even killed his own sister. But I don't think he was that. I don't think he was what he claimed he was. And you'd have to be a complete sucker to fall for that. Now, I will say this: as a revolutionary leftist, we don't believe in gun control, and at the same time, our position is not the same as the right wing's position. They are mindless consumers of the weapons market, and they are of the culture of toxic masculinity. And also, you got to understand that they are about the supremacist culture that built America in the first place. They have always used violence to get what they wanted, and that's not going to go away soon. And it certainly won't go away by enforcing gun control. Revolutionaries instead believe in arming the community to protect ourselves from white terrorism. And of course, the thugs in badges, or rather the police, and further, even the military. So, as always, we will see the angry calls in capitalist media calling for gun control, but you can't disarm a whole culture and cadre of ideologues that want to kill people of color uh, and women and the rest of the working class, especially if some of the ideologues are indeed the police their damn selves. If we are disarmed, the only communities who will be forced to do it the most will be working class communities of color, whereas the enclaves where white nationalism is nurtured will be ignored and allowed to grow as it always had. See, of course, the survivalist and so called prepper cultures. All right, so for my next item, if I want to apologize for the false notifications of me going live from this channel on Friday and apparently even today. I was testing two different technologies as alternatives to YouTube's live streaming capabilities. One of them was StreamLabs for OBS or Slobs, and what it was doing was it kept generating events publicly, even though the program ports to YouTube's live stream, and I had that set for private. Then I was comparing Slobs to regular OBS, which I've always used but hated because it has a tendency to immediately run into low resolution stage a minute or so early into the live streams. Now, lately, I've been having good luck with it, and with the acceptance, obviously, of today. So I don't know what happened there. I had to reinstall it because regular OBS because the last installation of it had become corrupt and kept crashing all the time. So I did a reinstall and I had to redo the settings, and that may have been the end result of why I had such a horrible stream the first time. So I uninstalled Slobs, and I'm gonna have to trash OBS altogether. Obviously, I'm coming to you live using this new program called StreamYard. Now, StreamYard is more of the StreamYards is good. Okay, B Money is here. What's up, B Money man? It's been a while. Anyway, but yeah, M City StreamYards is what I'm using right now, as you can clearly see. It doesn't give you your own icons or your banner, unless, of course, you do the $25 a month situation. And looking at the fact that even when I was, when this channel was in full swing and I was posting regular videos or doing like a weekly live stream type of thing, I'm gonna have to think a little bit more harder if it's really worth the $25 a month. It's really not that bad of a price. I mean, hell, I dole out $50, $60 a month almost to people on Patreon alone. So, it's not like that big of an expense, but when you, but when you look at whether the quality of this is any good, I'm gonna have to weigh that out a little bit. Dan says, I installed OBS at your suggestion. Granted, I haven't done anything with it, but still, what went wrong? I think what went wrong, Dan, was that a couple of things. I think it's either I'm having my internet service today is acting up. I think that's a problem. The other issue is that I believe, and like I said, my last stream that I did, I used OBS and it was fine. And I was making sure to do an actual hard wire connection to my internet, and I had no problems. I did the same thing today, and it completely went fucking haywire. So I'm really willing to blame my, my internet service provider. I mean, it's a Sunday, maybe just it's just, maybe it's just the company just isn't doing very well right now in terms of the internet. I'm not sure. I do know that my internet connection to my laptop was kind of funky earlier, but I was doing that wirelessly at the time. So I just thought it was just, and literally my damn router is right next to my laptop. So I really think it's the my service provider. So anyway, I'm going to continue to use OBS because I use OBS even doing things like recorded videos every now and then when I feel kind of lazy and don't really feel like fucking around with Adobe Premiere. So we'll see what happens there. Who else? Oh, Big J is in the house. Big J says StreamYard is a decent alternative to Google Hangout. Listen, the thing is, Big J, is that so far I like the control that I've had with this so far using StreamYards. One of the biggest problems that I had Friday, like I was saying earlier about StreamLabs OBS, was that it kept creating an event, letting people know that I was about to stream, which I didn't want it to do because I was still testing it. And the actual stream was selected to private, but the event kept being published or broadcasted as public. So people kept seeing that I was about to go live when I didn't want them to see that. And of course, each and every one of those tests, even though they were private, they had completely failed. Like, they just immediately went into low video output. I hadn't made any setting changes to it yet. And even after I made the setting changes that I wanted to make, to better optimize the broadband usage, it still crapped out on me. So I just took Streamlabs off. Then I found out that with Streamlabs OBS, can be a bit of a processor hog on laptops, which is what I was using, which is what I've always used, to be honest with you. And I think that was a problem. So, I just took it off and decided to go back to OBS, but then OBS started acting up. So, like I said, I don't want to repeat the whole thing again. All right, so that's pretty much the deal. We'll see what the deal is with this killer. His name, by the way, as we all know, is Connor Betts in Ohio. This guy was also in body armor. So it's not like he was a crazy guy or a nut. And I don't believe for 1 second that he was also a leftist, as he claims. Like I said, I think that was his last troll to the world before. And I'm pretty sure as early as last fall, he had planned on doing this shit. All right, y'all. So this was me just doing a little bit of a low-key test to finally use StreamYard to see if it was a good alternative. Tell me in the comments below what you think in terms of the quality of this live stream, and then I'll just use it as a live stream period. I still like using OBS because you can do things like charts and show documents and everything, whereas I'm just gonna have to work a little bit harder on making sure that streams out correctly, especially since the fact that most of the times whenever I live streamed on YouTube, I used Google Hangouts, but I was using it solo, which made no sense. And the whole purpose of using Google Hangouts, or rather now StreamYard, is because you want to have guests on. And I definitely want to make sure to create this account because I want to be able to do Hangouts or live streams, rather, with collaborative live streams with people like, hey, what's up, Deacons of Defense? Peace, man. With JetCloud. JetCloud, so while I'm at it, before I leave, hey, what's up, Angela? What's up? Anyway, so peace to Angela, peace to the Women's Show. Sorry, I'm gonna call you the Women's Show because that's what you changed your account to. And peace to Deacons of Defense, Dan Morgan, and Elm City. But anyway, before I leave, I just want to let y'all know to look out for two YouTubers. That is Jet Cloud and Suck My Opinion. These are two black leftist channels that I've been, supporting, politically, or rather, giving moral support to, and I definitely hope that I can collaborate with them in the future and do shows with. So, you know, wish me luck on getting that together. And what else? That's about it, really. Some people are trying to figure out, or I know a lot of people are upset that Google Hangouts had ended or they got rid of it. But really, commercially wise, they weren't really making money off of it. I mean, I'm pretty sure they made tens of, they made maybe millions and tens in terms of ad revenue, but that ain't shit to them compared to the bandwidth, the cost of bandwidth, the cost of maintaining the videos and everything else that was once recorded and uploaded. It was probably too much for them. And so they decided to just end it. Most likely what they're going to replace it with, because I know the technology industry very fucking well, unfortunately, and I know how they'll think. What they're going to probably want to do is replace Google Hangouts with something that you're definitely going to be having to pay for. Most likely, using the same model that we even see StreamYard using. But I'd rather give my support and money to StreamYard before I'll give it to a big fucking corporation like Google, especially since StreamYard seems to be working pretty fucking well, based on you all's reaction to this stream so far. So anyway, all right, that's really all I got to say. Like I said, I was just testing this out, and I am going to leave this up because I did talk about some politics there, here, and I'm going to come back later in the week. I definitely have some free time to do some streams, so hopefully I'll get those collaborations going with Jet Cloud sometime this week as well. I'll be free at night. In case Jet Cloud listens to this, I'll be free in the evening this coming week to do stuff like that. So anyway, peace family, peace everybody. Garage Autonomist is out.